Hey guys, it's me, Lisa, and today you're watching The Quest to Weigh Less Tell All Tuesday. This past week has been very hard on me. I probably made it a lot harder on myself with the expectations I had on myself. I wanted to work out the whole time. I did work out the Tuesday, and then Wednesday I just didn't have it in me, and I felt like others were right, maybe I needed to take a break so I could get better. And well, not even a day later, things started clearing up quite a bit more, like my cold, and and as you could tell, I sounded quite sick the last time. I had a difficult week. Starting out with, going on the trip and working out, even though I really should have just relaxed. I mean, to go to bed at 9 p.m. that night, and then the next day when we got home, 9 o'clock as well, I should have known that my body was running on empty. And not to mention, I started the Quest to Weigh Less Facebook group hoping for support for myself. I've never lied about that. I never said, oh, I just want to support everybody else. I said it's a place where we all mutually support each other. I've never said that it was any different, and people have made it into something different than what I intend. And so I was getting quite frustrated about that. And I decided that maybe people aren't commenting, or maybe people aren't saying anything because they're too shy. But I mean, most of the time, if you're on Facebook and you're trying to network yourself, you're going to add new people. Like, what's the point of adding new people if you're not going to get to know them? I can't fathom that. Maybe it's just a different mindset. The whole intention was that we'd come together on there. There's some of us that are already coming together here on YouTube. Even somebody in the challenge is always on an iPhone or an iPad. And they find ways to comment when they can and support and like videos of the people that they watch. He's having trouble commenting and stuff, and that's to be expected if that's the only means that you can watch your videos on sometimes. I mean, that's what you gotta do. However, he still lets me know that he's watching and that he's supporting me, and that's admirable. And I realize that not everyone can even do that. So a quick like, thumbs up, or a quick, hey, you did good. I don't know. Maybe I just come from another planet or something. I know there's people out there like me. I'm not so self-indulged to think that there isn't. Because that's why people were attracted to the Quest to Weigh Less in the first place. They wanted to support and give support and get support. I am kind of confused as to why some of the people ended up on there and then just decided to change their mind. It's very stressful. I mean, I don't know why I'm taking it on myself. I could just choose to ignore that and let things fall into place. However, I feel like not sticking to the intention of a community and supporting and encouraging one another, it goes against the whole idea of doing something together, this quest to weigh less together. Anyway, so I noticed that people weren't conversing and such, or posting, and there were quite a few that were. Some even got scared away that were posting. When I decided that I wanted people, if they're going to join, the intention is that if you read the About section, I'm telling you now, if you want to join the Quest to Weigh Less on Facebook, you must read the About section. I will send you a message saying, have you read the About section? I'm sure that's accessible for someone who's not in the group. If it's not, I'll add you. I'll ask you to read the About section, and then if you don't concur, then you can leave. However, I'm telling you right now, that place is a non-dogmatic place. Sure, it sounds like I'm being dogmatic about it not being dogmatic. However, and sure, you can perceive it that way if you wish. However, I know how it feels to go into a community where somebody is like, oh, well, why are you eating chips? Say someone's like, oh my gosh, I had such a bad day today, and, well, I normally would eat Ruffles chips. However, today I did a good thing and I ate these vegan chips instead. And well, say somebody who doesn't believe in veganism comes along and is like, instead of eating vegan chips, you should have ate some salmon, because I think that it sounds like you were craving salt, so you should have ate something like salmon because it's much, it's full of healthy salts, and you don't know if that salt is very healthy on that chip, so you shouldn't have chips anyway. That sort of thing. I didn't hear it quite as forcive as that. However, I have heard it, and I'm not going to tolerate that. Honestly, if somebody has an eating disorder, or even if they don't, and they're just trying to find their way intuitively on how they should eat, what works for them and such, unless they ask for a suggestion, talking like that is detrimental to a person's journey, I imagine. In all honesty, an easier way to word that and still get your point across without making that person feel like what they were eating was wrong and that, oh, they should eat something else, and then tearing their confidence down, I imagine it's a lot less forcive to say, you know what I would do instead of eating the bag of Ruffles chips? I would have eaten a piece of salmon, because for me, that salt really satiates me, and I feel like it's a lot healthier for my body. Good for you, though, for finding something that was a lot better for your body. One, you added encouragement in there, and you suggested, it's sly. However, you're not saying that what they did was wrong, whether you believe it is or not. I always encourage honesty. However, if you feel like you need to tell the person what you think they eat is not healthy, then you don't need to take that honesty there. You don't need to put your opinion in there. Just because you have an opinion on what they're eating and what you're eating doesn't make it healthier. None of us know that. I'm sorry. The scientific evidence, all this stuff, I imagine it's hooey. Because we're all different. So the whole point of the Quest to Weigh Less on Facebook was to come together in a supportive fashion without using our biased and dogmatic views on others. If somebody asks for a suggestion or advice, and you're qualified to give it, or you've already experienced it and they want to know what your experience is, that's why they're asking, go ahead. Go right ahead and say, I ate raw because I wanted to lose weight, or I ate vegan and I ate this and this and this, or I ate vegetarian, or I ate paleo or primal. You know what I'm saying. There can't be any confusion as to why I would be upset if somebody is put down for their choices. We're not all vegans. We're not all raw. We're not, and there is, I don't even see it as levels. I see it as we're on equal ground and people want to put us on levels. There's no need. We are all human. We all have our own decisions, and we're all there to support one another, and that's my intention. And so if you're going to join, please make sure that's your intention when you join. Also, I decided to add in an introduction, a mandatory introduction. I know it might come off as negative. I'm actually going to read it so that there is a warning to anybody who wants to join. Let this be reason enough for you to ponder if you want to join the Quest to Weigh Less Facebook page. I know to some it's perceived as negative. To some it was perceived as completely innocent, and my intention was to bring us all together and to stop people from just joining to sit on the sidelines and watch everything go down. I'm sorry, but when I'm asking you to join the Quest to Weigh Less, it's not to be a spectator. I'm going to put that out there. It's to be a member of a community and to support one another. Yes, we all go through hard times. Yes, we all falter. Or yes, there's the good, the less than good, and the ugly. And when I welcome you into that group, I tell you that. We're not just there for you because you're running triathlons, or you're doing triathlons, or, you're eating perfectly. We're there for you. Well, at least I can say I am there for you, no matter what you're doing. So, if you see this in any other light than intending to bring it into a very intimate group where we know one another and can get more comfortable with supporting one another, sharing with one another, and encouraging one another, then maybe the Quest to Weigh Less group is not for you. However, I would love it to be for you, and I would love you to join if you're serious about your journey. And so here is what the document pinned to the top of the page that is mandatory for you to answer the questions on it below the post that is related to your introduction into the group. I mean, I don't see any in-person groups. I know that a lot of us use the internet to hide behind a screen. However, I don't see anybody going to Weight Watchers or what are those other things? Overeaters Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous. And that's why I'm trying to weed out all the people who come and aren't sure if they want to join. Because this is private, sensitive information that is nobody's business unless you are willing to participate or encourage. If you're not ready to participate yet, at least encourage others. I know that when I am feeling down, there is no better feeling than encouraging someone else and helping them in their journey. I used to be the type of person that if I was down, well, I don't want to help anybody else and nobody, no. I'm sure, we're all in different spots in our journey. However, if you feel that you cannot encourage people because you're not doing good in your journey, I imagine these can be viewed as expectations. However, if you're serious about your journey, you're most likely going to want support and you're going to most likely want to give it. So come into the Quest to Weigh Less. There's no time limit. Come whenever you're ready. You don't have to go there today because you're starting a weight loss journey. But yet you're not ready to share on YouTube or you're not ready to share on Facebook. Please come to the Quest to Weigh Less when you're ready. That's all I ask. I mean, you don't always have to be ready. You just have to be ready to support people. Quest to Weigh Less introduction segment. Mandatory. Please read all the way through before answering any of the questions below. Warning. If you do not wish to participate in this introduction portion of the Quest to Weigh Less Facebook group at this time, please leave the group immediately and feel free to come back anytime that you're ready to participate. Otherwise, as I was saying, other people's private thoughts and information are not the business of those not truly interested in this community. Thank you for understanding, and know that I hope that you choose to participate. Much love to everyone, no matter their decision. Hey everyone, I noticed that a few members have been reluctant to post or acknowledge posts, and I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the fact that they feel like they don't know anyone in the group. Well, it's time to get acquainted or reacquainted. If we want to do this as a community, I imagine we need to start acting like one. What community do you see where the labor and efforts are confined to a few of the members? I have yet to see a working community that doesn't have equal efforts in place, or somewhat equal. I say that, but I just want you to realize, anyway, I go on to say, what does equal mean to me? Equal means that each one of us at least support one another. That is a given. If you're not ready to do something about the weight in any facet, physical, mental, emotional, or spiritually, or not even just, not physical weight. When I say mental, emotional, or spiritual weight, losing that is, your belief systems, you can lose those things and change. It's all about change. If you're not ready to do something about the weight in any facet, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, at this time, and if you decided to join and stay, at least support your fellow group members. Be courteous by going into the group sporadically and scrolling through old posts, and by liking or commenting. Liking just means you read through it and you're acknowledging it and you're showing your support with a like. I'm not saying you have to like and comment on everything, and some people have taken it that way and took offense and said, well, now it's becoming dogmatic because they're putting all these expectations on us. No, sure, I can put an expectation on you. You don't have to adhere to it. However, I'm just telling you what equal means to me, and that I wish that you would support one another and that you would support me and I support you. Plain and simple. At least support your fellow group members. Be courteous by going into the group sporadically and scrolling through old posts, and by liking or commenting, you can show your support to fellow members. It's not a requirement that you spend hours going through all the posts and commenting. However, by going through a few posts each day or every couple of days, and you don't have to do every single one. Like, I'm not saying you have to, if you are gone away on a vacation for a week. I obviously don't mean I want you on your vacation to go through every single post, every single day, blah, blah, blah. If you go on a vacation, it's pretty darn obvious that you're probably not going to go online. And when you get back, you're going to have a lot of stuff to check through anyway. However, all I mean is check the Quest Away Less Facebook page while you're on Facebook anyway, and just go through a few posts, read them, click like, or comment if you feel compelled to. I don't know, it may sound like a should, or, instead of a want now, I'm making you should, that I'm shoulding on you. It's all perception, If you've already got this in you and you're willing to commit to others and yourself, I can't see this being offensive, honestly. It's not a requirement that you spend hours going through all the old posts and commenting. However, by going through a few posts each day or every couple of days, that will keep you up to speed on what your fellow members are dealing with. The good, the less than good, and the downright ugly. Remember, all it takes is one acknowledgement or encouraging word to show someone that the day does get better, or that they had a job well done. Someday, you may want to post as well. That was for the people who aren't posting, or that don't do it very often. You may want to post as well, and I imagine it would be a tad disappointing if the support were lacking. I'm the administrator, so when I see people not commenting on some people's updates and then commenting on others, that breaks my heart. Honestly, how fair is it to that person who put themselves out there, and because either people don't see the post because they don't scroll down and look through some posts, or they don't like what that person's doing. Yet the person sounds really proud of themselves and really happy. Like, that was an accomplishment to them. So anyway, so I go on to say, also, just because a member is not eating, working out, or living a lifestyle that you see fit, that is no reason to ignore their posts. I have noticed that there have been a few group members that seem to stick to certain people's posts. That was another thing. I imagine because they have similarities in some way. I'm going to make it clear right now that even if someone isn't doing what we're doing, we can still show them support. When a person is proud of themselves, as I was saying, it shows in their post. So be proud with them. For all you know, the steps they are taking are a big leap for them, just like the steps you take may be a big leap for you. Also, keep in mind that we can weigh less more than just physically. We can weigh less mentally, like I was saying earlier, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, etc. I do notice that a lot of our posts, though, have been veered around physical weight loss, fitness, and health. However, feel free to post about all the other weight losses, such as mentally, emotionally, and physically. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and whatever else. So, without further ado, it's time to get to introductions and for us to answer a few important questions to open up the communicative floor in this group. Once heard this quote, that if you're not growing, you're dying. And sometimes in order to grow, we need to be a little uncomfortable. And so that's why I encourage people to be uncomfortable. If you've ever seen Lisa Loses Her Fat Mind, I'll tell you, sure, it may look like it was easy for me to do those things, but I had to do a lot of mental convincing. And that's what I want people to do when they see these questions. And when they see that people are posting, reach out. Grab a person's virtual hand and help them. You know, it's so easy to hide behind that screen and either, you know, not care about that person behind there. However, there's like 20 of us or so now still left on the Quest to Weigh Less, and we need to reach out to one another. I mean, otherwise, why are you on YouTube? Aren't you looking for support? Are you looking for attention? If you're looking for attention, the Quest to Weigh Less can do that for you too. There's nothing wrong with looking for attention. I am looking for attention. I'm looking for support. I'm looking for respect. I'm looking for me growing. And I'm looking for connection. And I'm not afraid to admit those things. So anyway, remember to stay honest. And remember that judgment may come up. However, this is a safe enough space that all judgment can be realized for what it is. And we can stay supportive and stay in touch while continuing our quest to weigh less. Now, that's not to say you need to update every day. You need to tell people how many times a day you had a poop. I'm not saying that. So anyway, I'm going to continue. Please introduce yourself. State your name, your age, your weight. Remember, most of us are trying to lose weight, get healthy, get fit, or perhaps gain more muscle. Just wanted you to know that, you know, a lot of us have shared our weight. It's okay to share your weight. There's nothing to be ashamed of. We are all different shapes and sizes. Same with age. Age is just a number. Like, what are you hiding behind if you can't state those things? You gotta ask yourself that. What are you hiding behind? It's just numbers. We're gonna get to where we're going, whether we're 15, or whether we're 40, or whether we're 80, or whether we're 500 pounds, whether we're 100 pounds, whether we're whatever, okay? Honestly. So the reason why, I know you're saying, oh, then why even ask those things? Because if there are professionals on the page or people who have experience with different things like nutrition, spiritual things, eating disorders, anything, whatever, or personal experience as well, not just professional experience, then it's good for us to go through the introductions, and then we get to know that person. If they ever ask a question such as, what, I want to start a raw food diet, just an example. However, I don't know what to do. Okay, so you give them generic advice on how to start a raw food diet. Does not work that way. You need some background information on those people to help them out, whether it's from your own experience or from professional experience. And let me tell you why that is. If somebody has, say, diabetes, and they, in the introduction, tell you they have diabetes, well, now you know. It takes all that guesswork away. You don't have to be like, oh, well, I don't know this, I don't know that. You know. And if you need more questions, you just ask them. But a lot of people don't think of that. They just give generic advice, and next thing you know, that person is doing harm to themselves because you told them to go on a 30 bananas a day, or, which is real, if some of you don't know that, or all fruit, an all fruit diet, because that's, you know, what you believe in. And you tell them to do that, and they take your advice, and they end up in a diabetic coma. That's not a situation you want to be in. So I'm thinking logically, and I'm thinking responsibly here. So the introduction is mandatory. I say this because I am a certified detoxification specialist. And so it is very important for me to know these things when people are asking for my suggestions or my advice, and for you that are in the group to be aware of the same thing, which is why I asked everybody to read everybody's responses. They're in the comments below that pinned post. And then I also asked them to state their height, What is your reason for being on the Quest to Weigh Less group page? Very straightforward. You just have to say, I'm here to give and get support. Whether it's generic, it's the same as everybody else's answer, who knows? But you might also be like, well, I've got diabetes and I'm trying to get healthy. And so I figured the support on this page, you can go in as much depth as you want or not. The more depth you go into, the more people are going to get to know you and the more you're going to get to know them. Because the more open I feel that people are, the more open others become. In my case, I'm already an open individual, so for the most part, you know, I'm not going to say that I'm perfect. I struggle sometimes with honesty. However, anytime I notice I'm struggling, I come to and I say, oh, wait, no, that's a fib. And I try and try and try to gain my balls to tell the truth. And that's all we can do. Nobody's perfect. It's all it's about, you know? So whatever your reason is, be as honest as possible. How do you think this group has benefited you so far or will benefit you? So if the group has benefited you, you're going to say how it has. Or that was mainly for people who were already in it. And so when you first start, the question will be, how do you think this group will benefit you? And just state your, not so much expectations, keep them loose. However, be honest. If you're on there to get the support of every single individual, say it. Because I don't want to be the only person saying that I'm the only one wishing for other people's support, the whole group. I know that there are some of you out there that want all support from everyone too. So just be honest about that. What are your goals? Straightforward. If you're not doing the YouTube thing, you probably haven't stated your goals. So do it on here. Plain and simple. Doesn't mean you have to stick to it. It's just your goals in the now. I'm not going to hold you accountable to them. I'm going to be there to support you. I can try and hold you accountable to them, but you need to be accountable to yourself. That's not what this is about. This is not me being Hitler and babysitting you and saying that you need to do what you're supposed to be doing. I'll be there telling you, keep going, I'm your cheerleader. Not gonna be that person that says you have to do it. The only time I'm saying you have to do it is this mandatory, you know, reading the about section and reading this and answering. That's the only mandatory thing that questions that will ever be. Other than that, it's up to your discretion whether you want to share or whether you want to answer that question or not. You know, it's just an introduction. Are you physically, mentally, emotionally, and or spiritually able to take on a weight loss regime at this time? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I said it twice because I wanted to make sure that I was clear that I want you to specify them separately. What have you, because people might think that I mean, are you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually ready to lose physical weight? That's not just what I mean. I mean that, are you physically ready to lose physical weight? Are you mentally ready to lose mental weight? You know, old things you learned in school that aren't true anymore, or that just don't make a difference in your life. So you drop those things that you don't need to know. Not that, you know, knowledge isn't good or whatever, but sometimes we have to filter through. Our brains are only so big. You gotta have room to remember other things on a conscious level. Emotionally, are you gonna drop behaviors or different things that aren't serving you right now? Spiritually, are you connected to God? Are you connected to the universe? Are you connected to, are you connected to Allah? Are you connected to Buddha, which isn't necessarily a religion, but it's something that a lot of people follow. They're Buddhist. And technically, you know, I myself consider it a religion. Are you Christian? Are you non-denominational? Are you, if you are non-denominational, are you, you know, what are you doing spiritually to weigh less spiritually, you know, so to speak? I don't mean you want to get rid of your spirituality. That's not what I'm saying. But I think you get what I mean, hopefully. If not, ask me questions. Okay. What have you done in the past to try and drop the weight in any areas of your life? What are you doing now? Without rationalizing too much, what do you imagine holds you back from losing weight in any of the key areas? Physically, if you don't feel like you're held back at all, say that. Physically, what's holding you back, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, etc. Put etc. in case you want to share something else, whatever that may be. What is your diet like currently? Without labeling what you are. Example, SAD, Standard American Diet, Paleo, Vegan, Raw Vegan, Vegetarian, Primal, Macro, Micro, etc. I want you to list some examples outside of what you think you are. List some examples of what you eat with different food groups. Does your diet include all the nutrients you need? And if not, how do you get those nutrients in otherwise? How much exercise do you do daily, if any? What's your main fitness focus? Strength, cardio, exercise, etc. If you're not participating in fitness, what has been your past focus? If you have any questions about what is written here, feel free to ask. Don't be shy. I want to thank you for taking the time to make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others. Keep up the great work, guys. We got this. Then underneath I said, please be courteous and read all responses to this thread so that we can all get to know one another and build this community into a strong and fortified place of growth and authentic relationships. That's where that's at. I know that was long. Just please only join if you're serious. Otherwise, that's not to say, please don't get offended by me saying that. That's not to say that you're not serious about your journey. Because you could be, you just may not want a group support. You may just want to do this on your own. That's completely fine. Just know yourself enough to know if you are going to be committed to yourself and others, or just yourself, or just others. And if that's the case and you want to support others and you've already lost weight in any of the key ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, join. And when people ask for support, chime in. Or when people ask for suggestions or advice, chime in, because you've already been there. It doesn't mean people have to take your advice. It just means that you've been through it and you know about it, so you can tell them more stuff and they can try it if they want, and then they can see if it works for them. It's like a non-dogmatic approach. And sure, this might look like there's like no discipline to it because everybody's doing something different. However, the discipline is that we're there for one another. And that's that. So anyway, I didn't work out for a whole week. Yep. Tomorrow will be 1 week. I'm starting up tomorrow again. And I'm picking up where I left off because I was doing the push-up, sit-up, and squat challenge. And so I'm going to continue on with that. And that was a Wednesday. And then I'm going to do my turbo jam and everything else that comes with it. I feel like I'm really out of shape and weak lately just because I was holding on to a lot of resentments about that and different things in my life. And it's a flux, an ebb and a flow. And a lot of the time it becomes harder than it needs to be, or than it really is at all. It's because I hold, a lot of people say, just let it go, let it go. And so I did that a lot. And I would say, I'm dealing with it. But I've never let it go, whether that be a person who doesn't serve me, who doesn't, praise my highest journey. Those people, I imagine, there's people that are like that feel that they just don't have enough time for others, and maybe they don't, that's fine. However, they have to be honest with themselves, I imagine, and maybe I'm being so black and white here. However, I don't see it as black and white. I see it as we've grown apart. Really, when you look at it, even if it's only been, a month or something, it's a growing apart if you can't support that person or stay in their life or appreciate them or show them you care in some way, Anyway, that's just my outlook on it. No one needs to get offended. It's just an opinion. I've been letting a lot of this kind of get to me, and so in being sick, I really lowered. Imagine I lowered my immune system right low to the ground. So I'm building back up, and hopefully, I can do well enough tomorrow to get myself back in the game with regards to working out. And so I haven't also, like, I didn't keep up with my water intake, and I also was eating pretty decent at first, and then as I stopped working out, I started eating a lot more bread because I seemed like hungrier. My appetite just went up. It was weird. I mean, I'm just having my days, you know. It doesn't mean you should stop friending me or stop doing whatever. At least I'm still talking to you and I'm still supporting you. It could be a lot worse. You could have no support. I'm not threatening or whatever, but I'm saying in my case, I have people in my life, and I'm sure you all do too, that aren't there for you when they said they would be. Throughout the week, I had a mango and 2 pears, 2 Fiber One 110 calorie brownies. Pretty good, really sugary though, so I'd rather just make like homemade brownies. Then I made FatToGlam, and I'll put her channel in the description. FatToGlam's, it wasn't her recipe, she got it off of like a website or something. However, she did make a recipe video for it. Honey almond cake. It was delicious. I'm not a big nut fan, but I was like, I have to try that. So I made it, and I had a piece, and because I don't crave nuts and I'm not a big nut fan, that's all I needed. And so I gave the rest to my husband and my grandmother and aunt, and they loved it as well. So thank you so much, girl. Really good. I had a medium taco salad and a frozen yogurt from this place called Goji's, and it was cherry, and like I went on a kick, like a frozen yogurt kick, because I found out about that place through a friend. And, well, I knew about it, but I had forgotten. And they had posted on their Facebook wall about just how they went and they enjoyed it. Anyway, so I went and I got a cherry one with raspberries and maraschino cherries and strawberries in it and chocolate sauce. And wow, talk about delicious. Then I had some dried jackfruit, the last of my dried jackfruit. That was probably a handful size. A banana. Another froyo. This time I got tart lemon, and I got kiwi, strawberry, and blueberries on it, and no chocolate sauce. Then I went to my friend's, and we had a fun game night with her and her fiance. And her fiance just happens to be my husband's best friend and one of my best guy friends. And Matt bought some natural, no preservative, no nitrate salami. So we all had a little bit of that. And they had Kool-Aid drinks there. And so I had a green one, which was strawberry kiwi, and that started off a kick. So you could say, you know, I kind of went a little bit back to some binging. However, I changed my mind quite quickly. So I wouldn't even suggest that that's a binge. I would say that I did pretty well because, I mean, I had that juice, and then I had a taco salad. Love it. I get it from the superstore here, the grocery store here. So good. And some celery sticks and a small slice of pizza, a square. So that was a pretty good supper, if you ask me. And then I had some milk chocolate with toffee and dark chocolate with maple sugar. Really good. Gluten-free chocolate at that. Then I had some gluten-free banana bread with it. So there's the bread coming in. But however, it was gluten-free, so that was a little bit better. Then I ate some grapes with vanilla cultured coconut milk. Oh, so good, from So Delicious. And a banana. And then 2 cans of chicken noodle soup. Some raisin bread that I bought fresh from a bakery. Some chocolate, organic milk chocolate. Some KFC. A little bit of fries. A lot of gravy. And a piece of chicken. A slice of fresh from the bakery grained bread. We bought our own Kool-Aid jammers, so I had a cherry one. And then I ate some raw chocolate that I have from Sacred Heart, I think, and it was cherry flavored. Oh my god, it was good. Then some more banana bread and some acai and blueberry. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, it was flavored water. And I went out for lunch with my mother, and she took me to one of my favorite places called Booster Juice, and I got one of their juices and it had, oh my gosh, I don't remember the name. It was a really weird new tropical like fruit from the Amazon rainforest that's a cross between a mango and an orange. It's not a hybrid, but it's like the taste is like that. Anyway, oh my gosh, it was so good. It tasted like creamsicle. I asked them to take the yogurt out because I didn't really want the yogurt. I don't need it when I have a smoothie, and so it's not a necessity for me for flavor. Anyway, so I got that, a regular smoothie and a panini, which was basically the slice of like a pizza you're going to see in the picture. And it was a chicken panini, barbecued chicken panini. And my husband and I went to this new restaurant that we wanted to try out for a while. And it's called St. James Gate, and it's so good. Yum. I'll probably post a review sometime. Anyway, so I got iced tea for my drink, and they brought us bread, so I had a piece of that. And it was really low lighting, so our pictures didn't turn out perfectly. However, we did the best we could. And then I had 2 pork ribs with just sea salt and oil on them, and a little bit of barbecue sauce with it, but not a lot. It tasted really good just on its own. And then I had half of a veggie burger and a salad with some cherry tomatoes, some shredded carrots, some field greens, some Parmesan cheese, and Caesar dressing, and cucumber. Then I had more Goji's yogurt. This time I did a mix between the lemon and the cherry and put chocolate sauce and had blueberries, maraschino cherries, and strawberries. Then I had a morning Special K chocolate shake, morning shake, and a banana. Then I had a salad with sardines and tomato sauce, some Bubby's bread and butter, pickles which I thought were fermented when I made my grocery haul video. My mistake. They're just normal. Some of their products are fermented, not all of them. I guess I assumed that they were. Some romaine lettuce and some spinach and some cucumber and baby tomatoes. Then I ate the rest of the gluten-free banana loaf cake. And then I ate the rest of my the rest of Matt's Caesar salad because he didn't want it anymore, with some chicken in it. I took the croutons out because I'm not a crouton fan usually. And 2 more ribs and the rest of my veggie burger. And then we're ending off with today. I had some grapes with the vanilla cultured coconut milk, and I made some strawberry applesauce with some strawberries that I really needed to eat, and 2 green apples, and no digestive pain. So now it looks like red apples with the peel affect my stomach. So I cannot eat red apples with a peel. I have to eat red apples without a peel, interestingly enough. Anyway, so I put the apples, the strawberries, cinnamon, and a tablespoon of honey. And I don't normally add honey in, but I find like strawberries this time of year are quite bitter, so I wanted to make sure I still had some flavor in there. And green apples, well, they're sour. And so that's all I've eaten so far. Well, now that I've gotten everything off my chest on Facebook and just finally letting go of people and things that don't serve me, mentalities and such, I'm not saying I don't love those people and that they can never come back, as I said. I'm just saying that I needed to let go so that I could grow away from them if that is what they wanted. And that's what it sounds like they want. Because if somebody's not making time for you in their now, when are they going to? All we have is now. We don't have I'm busy, we'll hang out later. One of us could get hurt, or one of us, something could happen. You never know. All we have is today. Tomorrow doesn't exist, and yesterday is gone. So, yeah. Thank you for everybody who has supported me, who has been here. I'm glad to support you as well. And thank you for loving me and encouraging me and just being amazing. Keep doing it. You know, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. You know, I had a setback for a good little bit of a week and some odd. And well, I'm gonna continue on. I started drinking all my water again yesterday, and as you can see, the choices are getting better and better again, you know, so I feel like tomorrow's weigh-in might be a little bit disappointing. However, not really. Knowing that it didn't work out and that I stressed out a lot, I imagine that because I ate more instead of channeling that stress into the working out and whatever else I was doing, I feel like I probably gained. So we'll find out tomorrow, and thank you so much for watching. Namaste.